Okay, be ready and be happy because in the next program will be coffee break after my presentation. So now you have something to wait for. Good afternoon. My name is Pekka Uotila. I'm very glad to be here. This is the first time in the Koha conference ever for myself, and I've learned a lot here. First thing, let's start with my first name, Pekka. As you very well know, it's almost the most common male name in Finland. So if there's one thing you have to learn from my presentation is that Pekka is the most common male name for a man with 60 years old. So I think in Estonia they even call all male in Finland Pekkas or reindeers. So let's start. So my special interest is in organizations, in communicative constructions. My background is in applied linguistics. And my current position is manager. So Andri said yesterday that try to be general. So I didn't actually understand what he meant because the only thing I'm quite sure I cannot be specified because I have no idea about any details at all. So I have never worked in a library and I have no idea about the programming. So I'm well, in Finland they call these kind of general layman managers, and I'm a manager, so general layman. So my Koha experience is also not that long, so I apologize that I certainly will mix all your terms and make also, well, give you information that you already certainly know, I think. But anyway, my experience in Koha started a couple of years ago, and my approach here today before the coffee break, and Esa-Pekka be so kind that stopped my speaking so early enough so that everybody get coffee. So I was also very active playing as the scientific Koha Finland made a roadmap for 2030. So this presentation is kind of a critical reflection of the goal-setting process from viewpoint of a participant, so my own opinion. So do not claim the other people what I'm saying here. These are my personal opinions. So there's no official statement about the process, even though I'm not saying anything bad. So I compare our long-term process, the strategy process, with some theories about making strategy in general, so to make it a little bit sound like scientific or academic. So let's start with the collaboration with universities in Finland. I think the situation might be really similar in the other countries, but we have 13 universities and 23 universities of applied sciences. I'm from the University of Applied Sciences, University of Southeast Finland. University of Applied Sciences in Southeast, it's so long a name that I cannot pronounce it even. Second word I cannot pronounce is strategizing, and that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, there are so many universities and University of Applied Sciences and other research institutions, and they all are active members of collaboration in different kind of associations, consortia, projects and companies. So it's a huge and very complicated world and context where we are operating from the management viewpoint. So I would say that the collaboration fingerprint of each higher education institution in Finland at least is very unique and large. So when we think about the scientific libraries in the higher education system in Finland, you have to always remember, and of course you know this is quite self-evident, so we are just one box in the university organizations, and unfortunately, at least in my university, the library is not the department or the part of the university that the top management is always listening to. Why? Because everybody in Finland is very satisfied with library services. So last year we had this user survey, satisfaction survey, and we will get the highest points. So that means, and that happens always. And I think the same case with other libraries as well. The image or the reputation of libraries in Finland is so good, so solid, that whatever we do, we always get the best, highest scores. So I think that if we close our physical libraries for 6 months, everybody would say after that, yeah, really good service. One thing is also that when we're talking about collaboration, that I certainly know much better other library managers in other universities than I know other managers in my own organization. This is typical maybe in other part of the world as well. So we are very well connected, and we have many different kind of collaboration between university libraries and scientific libraries. So why then long-range planning in open consortium? And okay, I use long-range planning and that kind of things to avoid strategy, because the word is so horrible. So open consortium is a loose social construction, therefore all documentation is vital, also soft matters like goals and values, I think. And remember that library managers like myself and all managers need a clear and very simple vision of each services they are using and buying in order to understand the general picture of all services and their interconnectivity. Well, we have, for example, in our university, I'm not talking only about the library because I'm a part-time library manager. I'm responsible also for our learning management services, e-learning management systems and the publication. So we have like 60 different kind of services, IT services and programs. And those, part of them are based on open source, and these are managed by different kind of consortia. I'm a number of steering groups of different kind of consortia involved right now. So this makes this context also very complicated. Then strategizing, isn't it a nice word? So, or long-range planning or future goal setting. So for me, I have adapted this from by the way, Canadian researchers I admire a lot, that the strategizing is actually a process where matters of concern are transformed matters of authority. So if there are things that you are well worried about or concerned about, typically when you're doing long-range planning, then you ask people what you have in mind, and after that we have kind of a magic in between, and then we have matters of authority, so the documented vision or action steps or whatever, roadmaps and that kind of things. And that is what we have done, and this is my idea about making strategy as well. I'm very critical about strategies in general because I really don't know what we do with them, but we do them because it's part of the managerial job. And but still, I understand also that they are important. So my question is, what are the matters of concern in an open Koha community? And of course, I'm speaking only to Scientific Finland Koha community, and how they are then translated into matters of authority, and what we can learn from them. So some background information about this. Our consortium has, well, 17 or 16, I don't know, scientific and special libraries, should be something like that. And we make together decision on use, maintenance and development of Koha. We have had this consortium since, well, 2018. You said 2019, I don't remember, something like that, 5 years still. We are young, we are beginners, and I am especially beginner. So the National Library of Finland provides software development and maintenance services, and IT Center for Science then provides server platform services. So we have actually, as open consortium, literally, so we are open, we have no legal position, we have no independent status, and in that sense, our operation cannot be directly compared to company or association. Still, we make strategies. So Koha, long-range planning, why we actually started it happened all 2021. We had back the implementation project. As we started to use Koha, as we heard, we had before Voyager for decades, and that was a very successful project. Everything went smoothly, and we are very happy with Koha, no problem at all. And we had also very good people in the steering group who made this all happen. But after 3 years, they were also that much exhausted that there must be some other people do something. And unfortunately for Koha, I had to be the head of the steering group for a while. So in that moment, we also thought that everything was based very much on tacit knowledge of those people who are active in Koha community. And we decided that we need kind of documentation also what we are heading to and what kind of situation we are having right now. So therefore we organized 3 workshops. in 2021 and 22, and each workshop we had a lot of, I think, in very good participation. So we had at least 30 people, staff members and managers participating in these workshops, where we then, well, in a way, did what we, you know what you do, you write down on paper what your conceptual matter. You do that everywhere in the world, and that was the collecting the matters of concern. And that was really nice and exciting, even though it was in the middle of COVID. I think part of you have also participated the first meeting we had in Teams, so we wanted to hear what is happening in France and Sweden, where they have already had these kind of Koha communities, and we wanted to learn something. So we, of course, concentrated on SWOT things, SWOT-like issues, which is the, well, state of art. Everybody makes SWOTs if they want to know the situation, what is going on right now. And we got that kind of things like strengths like system adaptability, libraries' active involvement in system development, strong collaboration, and mutual trust, relatively low direct cost. Relatively low direct cost. I would say that the cost we are paying for National Library of Finland and CSC is very moderate. And then we had also weaknesses not designed for managing electric resources, which is very important. Of course, the university libraries, we are, well, I would say that, or I say at least for our university, we are first of all electric service. We are most of our students are studying now only online or partly online, and minority nowadays on site. So, of course, other weaknesses have been mentioned: management layered code, required human resources for community development and maintenance, these kind of things, opportunities, modularity, user-centric development, expertise of the internet coding community, sharing of collective knowledge for the common good, threats. Alternative arrangement might be necessary for this because the electric materials and open is so vital for the university libraries, and of course the lack of resources for open source development. That's I think a global issue. So how to get the best programmers to do this kind of job. And what is also important for us in a small country like Finland, we have only 17, 18 members, and there are only two well, a couple of big members in our consortium. If one of those decides to go away and do something else, we are in deep trouble. So that's why we also kind of worked a little bit further what we had get from the participants in the process, that we also kind of put our concerns on different levels, and also try to analyze what are these things that are really retention factors, things that keep us in the community, and attraction factors, what are those things that really maybe attract some other institutions to join us, and then compelling factors that makes us so superior. And okay, the system level, of course, again, similar kind of things, opportunity to influence the development of international Koha, which is maybe happening right now somewhere here in these buildings. Attraction, of course, price, because it's really, it's not that high. The direct cost, transparency, and of the cost, so we know for what we are paying, so quite clearly. And then the agility, direct contact with developers, which is also happening here today in these buildings and these rooms, which is a great thing. And then secondly, the community level, which seems to be very important for, especially for us managers, and also for other staff members. So this peer-to-peer cooperation between libraries, this is very important. I think it's also one factor that makes the work so attractive itself, and then one of the things that make library work kind of, it's a value. And open source ideology, transparency, agility, customization, community works again, and between developers and librarians. And then thirdly, this is very good that we didn't forget this customer level or patron level, which we actually is the most important levels. And what I believe that I have never heard that anybody would had said that we had some kind of problems after changing the systems. Everybody is very happy with Koha. So the patrons and well, attraction is of course these inter-system integrations, which are also very important, and then development opportunities. So, and then we also kind of put together in a nutshell the values that are important for the community. It's quite clear. Actually, I asked also the artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, to make values for us and action plans, and it was quite good, not that bad. Actually, it could be so, but remember that in strategizing, the most important thing is strategizing, not the paper, the document itself. It's absolutely vital that people are possible that they participate that process. In the strategies, the process is absolutely, in my opinion, more important than the outcome. Otherwise, ChatGPT could make us much better strategy papers. Okay, that was a joke, bad joke, sorry. Eventually, the measures we had were like this, like more attention to communication so that we can be heard outside our own community. It's vital. It seems that we really have the strive that we would like to be heard outside. And this is, in that sense, very important that I feel that we are very good in cooperation between other libraries. And we know very well what they are doing, but do our well directors or the well Ministry of Education or whatever know what we're doing and how good we are? My answer is no, they don't, and we have to be better in that sense. So the competence development within the Koha community, I think that's rewarding, meaning that the people can learn from each other, like here today in these buildings and otherwise as well. And consolidating cooperation with other partners. We have, for example, Koha Suomi here, which is a great partner. And well, so far we have only drank coffee twice since 3 years, but maybe next time we drink beer and the cooperation will be deeper. So, and internationality, increasing planning and widening participation so that the main users and other members of Koha community also actively participate in the development work. So, because this is one of the most important values we have, so it is vital that we have this kind of possibilities that we meet managers and especially our specialists meet developers, and there is so real communication what is going on in the future. And of course, the technology development, you have told so much about that, and I have no idea what is happening there, but I believe this is very important. So what did we get? Compared with the theories about strategy or strategizing, we succeeded to create something that resembles very much a proper strategy. So as I said, that it could have been also done some other way, but the process itself was really good. All the methods like workshops and what we did was really so, I think it resembled so professional work. So we really made a good job, I think, and people were quite happy that they participated that, and we have a good outcome, like a list of future measures and so on. It's comprehensive and a very conventional strategy document. We could give it to our president of the university and he would understand it immediately. So the levels of strategy we defined are very concrete, of course, because the people who made the strategy were staff members and library managers. So everything we have in this strategy paper it's very much like about our community, Koha library system itself, and our customers. Of course, it's evident as well. And soft issues like values, openness, and community seem to be very important for us. And there's a clear need to get from this collaboration more than just a good, I think it should be IMS, so integrated library system or something like that, but you know what I mean. So the process this was really rewarding for the participants, and it helps really us to identify what we are doing and where we are going to. So it wasn't that waste of time. We didn't use that much time for that, but anyway. So some lessons, what I learned and what we did not mention in our roadmap so clearly, in my opinion. This is my personal opinion, of course. So one thing is that if Koha was just a service, we would not have needed a strategy, but a good deal with a nice salesperson. So most of the Finnish universities are not using Koha, they are using another one, the Alma system, and okay, well, I think it's quite straightforward. I don't know whether they have a strategy, but I doubt it. So Koha community is horizontally strong. How to become vertically strong as well? What I already meant before, because our ultimate goal as librarians is to make the world better. So we can make the world better, of course, together with other libraries, but it's only a very small part of the world. We should be also maybe active in other ways to, spread the good experience we had. Maybe, for example, participating more actively in the open science movement, which is, at least in Finland, for the universities, very vital and important. I don't know. So we are, of course, concentrating very much on the micro level things that even though we should all maybe, I don't know, be more active in macro level. I don't know actually how we do it, and I'm not quite sure should we actually expand our activities in that sense. Maybe, maybe not. You have certainly much better answers. From the management viewpoint, Koha, or the manager viewpoint, or my viewpoint, Koha is a community which provides a good library system and something else, or a cost-effective library management system that demands a lot of community management, either or. So if Koha is considered just another library management system without any additional value, the community management can become sooner or later a burden. So we need actions to make Koha and maybe other open solutions even more attractive. How? So the last question is, what is then the additional value of Koha in the future? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was myself involved in that process too, as a service providers representative, and it was very interesting. And I think Pekka has a big role in that. It was a very successful and interesting exercise. But now, questions, comments. Yeah, and you spent your time almost entirely. So, but I would wait 15 seconds more. Yes.
That's how now. What electronic management system use now?
You mean electronic? That is something that we are working on really. So different libraries have different solutions regarding e-materials. It varies from Excel to something else. So we are, as you mentioned this, we are very much looking forward the ERM development in Koha, because at the moment, frankly, it is one of the big handicaps in if you want to market Koha to, for example, other scientific libraries in Finland.
And that was also a very good example of good cooperation. You asked me and Esa-Pekka answered, because I wasn't able to answer.
Okay, then I see no more hands, so I relieve you to the coffee.